On the other hand, there is a huge advantage on technique of Oleksandr Usyk, and he showed that in the cruiserweight division how great he was.
Yeah,
Wladimir Klitschko did. But if he is going to come back, he wants to come back for one man and one man only, and that's Tyson Fury.
Do you believe that he will take the rematch?
During this war, of course.
Wladimir Klitschko, a former heavyweight champion from Ukraine, is renowned for his dominance during his career and his focus on technical boxing. Despite his 2015 loss to Tyson Fury, he remains an influential voice in boxing ahead of the Oleksandr Usyk vs. Tyson Fury rematch. Klitschko praised Usyk's adaptability and superior technique, which he believes could trouble Fury. He views the bout as historic for Ukraine and boxing. Klitschko predicts the fight will either be a knockout win for Usyk, leveraging speed and strategy, or an intense, grueling contest. He emphasizes Usyk's ability to outmaneuver Fury's size and clinching tactics. Wladimir Klitschko's remarks on the potential rematch between Tyson Fury and Oleksandr Usyk, as seen in his comments, reflect a nuanced understanding of both fighters' strengths and what makes the matchup so intriguing. Klitschko, a former heavyweight champion and a boxing icon, analyzes the fight from the perspective of someone who has spent years mastering the ring and observing its finest athletes. One of Klitschko's key points is the contrast between Tyson Fury's physical advantages and Oleksandr Usyk's technical prowess. Fury's size and reach are undeniable assets. At nearly 7 ft tall and with a massive reach, Fury possesses physical attributes that give him an edge against almost any opponent. Klitschko acknowledges this, suggesting that Fury's size and reach could be pivotal, especially in a division where size often dictates outcomes.
Well, knowing that's one thing. Obviously, I do know bookmen inside of the ring, and expecting actually what's going to happen Saturday night tomorrow. There is certainly advantage on Tyson Fury's side with reach and size. On the other hand, there is a huge advantage on technique of Oleksandr Usyk, and he showed that in the cruiserweight division how great he was.
yeah.
However, Klitschko equally emphasizes Usyk's technical brilliance. Having established himself as a dominant cruiserweight before transitioning to heavyweight, Usyk has demonstrated that exceptional technique can offset physical disadvantages. Klitschko mentions how Usyk's performances in the cruiserweight division and his subsequent success in the heavyweight division highlight his ability to overcome size disparities. This dynamic between Fury's physicality and Usyk's skill is central to what makes this rematch compelling. Klitschko also speaks from the perspective of someone who understands the psychological and emotional preparation required at the highest level of the sport. He notes that Usyk's journey, including his status as Ukraine's first heavyweight champion, carries significant emotional weight, especially given the ongoing conflict in Ukraine. Usyk has often used his platform to represent his country and inspire resilience among Ukrainians, which Klitschko recognizes as a source of strength for Usyk. This emotional backdrop might fuel Usyk's performance, adding another layer of intrigue to the fight. Though not explicitly stated, Klitschko's tone and word choice hint at an implicit acknowledgement of Tyson Fury's adaptability and ring IQ. Fury is known for his ability to adjust during fights, as he did in his trilogy against Deontay Wilder. Klitschko's breakdown suggests that while Usyk's technique is precise and consistent, Fury's unpredictable nature could present unique challenges. This tension Usyk's technical mastery versus Fury's fluid and adaptable style makes for an uncertain outcome. Klitschko briefly touches on the broader significance of this fight for Ukraine, framing it as more than just a sports event. A victory for Usyk would resonate deeply, symbolizing hope and strength amid Ukraine's struggles. For Klitschko, a proud Ukrainian and a prominent advocate for his country, this element adds profound stakes to the fight. In his analysis, Klitschko balances respect for both fighters. He underscores the physical dominance of Fury while highlighting the tactical genius of Usyk. The clash, as he sees it, is not just about who is bigger or stronger, but also about who can implement their strengths more effectively. For Klitschko, the rematch is not only a fascinating boxing contest, but also a moment laden with personal and national significance, especially for Usyk in Ukraine.
And as well in the heavyweight.
Yes.
And he really showed that size for him doesn't matter if you have right technique for that size. So we're gonna see how that's gonna be implemented, and I look forward to our first unified heavyweight champion, Ukrainian heavyweight champion of the world on Saturday night.
If Oleksandr wins, with everything that's happening in Ukraine right now for the past few years, what would it mean to the Ukrainian people to see somebody like him become undisputed? Would that give them hope? I know it doesn't change everything, but to see one of their countrymen doing something like that.
Klitschko's remarks about Usyk highlight his pride as a fellow Ukrainian. For Klitschko, Usyk's journey to becoming an undisputed champion transcends personal achievement. It serves as a beacon of hope and inspiration for a country facing immense challenges. Klitschko speaks with confidence about Usyk's capabilities, stating that he believed in Usyk's victory even before the fight. This confidence, rooted in his deep understanding of the sport and his first-hand knowledge of Usyk's skill set, reflects Klitschko's recognition of Usyk as a true heir to the Ukrainian boxing legacy he and his brother Vitaly helped establish. For Klitschko, Usyk's accomplishment of becoming an undisputed heavyweight champion carries tremendous weight in both sporting and cultural contexts. Klitschko himself held a dominant reign in the heavyweight division for over a decade but never achieved the undisputed status that Usyk now holds. This adds a layer of significance to Usyk's triumph. Wladimir sees this as a monumental moment not just for Usyk but for Ukraine as a whole, a country that continues to make headlines for its resilience in the face of adversity. Klitschko emphasizes that Usyk's victory is not merely a personal success, but a symbol of Ukrainian strength and determination in a time of war and turmoil for the nation. Usyk's win serves as a reminder of the fighting spirit Ukrainians bring to every challenge, whether in the ring or on the world stage. Klitschko's reflections also touch on the emotional weight that comes with being a champion during such a tumultuous time for Ukraine. He acknowledges that Usyk's victories are more than just fights, they are statements of resilience. The ring becomes a stage where Ukraine's struggles and triumphs are symbolically fought and won. Vladimir's words convey a deep respect for Usyk's ability to handle the pressure and responsibility that come with representing a nation during a time of conflict.
He made the history, he deserved the win. Respect to Tyson Fury that he was standing from the 9th round until the end of the fight and tried it all. I'm just proud of my countrymen. It is very important win for Oleksandr, as more even importantly, the win for us Ukrainians.
Did you always know he was going to win the fight, and did you believe that at one point he might stop Tyson Fury?
I don't know. I just had this confidence, even saying it before the fight, that he's going to be the new Ukrainian undisputed
How big is that for Ukraine?
heavyweight champion.
How big is it for
It is
Ukraine?
important.
When asked about the possibility of Usyk taking a rematch, Klitschko expresses unwavering belief in Usyk's abilities. He speaks with conviction about Usyk's mindset and determination, suggesting that Usyk has what it takes to continue defending his titles and further solidifying his legacy. This confidence underscores Klitschko's faith in Usyk, not just as a fighter but as a person capable of rising to any occasion, even under the immense strain of external circumstances. Klitschko's respect for Usyk is rooted in a shared understanding of what it means to fight for more than just titles. Both men have carried the hopes of their nation into the ring, and Klitschko recognizes Usyk as a worthy standard-bearer for Ukrainian boxing. Usyk's triumphs, in Klitschko's eyes, are victories for history, for the sport, and for the spirit of a people determined to prevail.
How big is it for
It is
Ukraine?
important. It is important. It is important.
Do you believe that he will take the rematch?
During this war, of course. Of course.
And do you,
Of course.
a lot of talk has been about him
But
possibly
you know what? The
retiring.
rematch is not really important.
Tyson Fury never wanted to shy away from candid, colorful commentary. He recently shared his unfiltered thoughts about his upcoming fight. His words reflect both his confidence and his philosophical approach to the unpredictability of boxing. Fury acknowledges the raw, instinctive nature of boxing. He implies that while strategies and training matter, fights are often decided in the moment. His understated tone suggests he trusts his instincts and skill to guide him when the bell rings. "I can't tell you what's going to happen in the fight until I'm in there." This statement underscores the unpredictability of combat sports. Fury highlights the reality that no plan survives first contact with an opponent. His message is simple: preparation is important, but what matters most is how he adapts in real time. If someone like Klitschko gives advice to Usyk on how to beat me, it ain't going to work. That's facts. Fury dismisses the idea that past opponents like Wladimir Klitschko can offer meaningful insights to Usyk, comparing it to a billionaire taking advice from an outsider. Fury reinforces his self-belief. He sees himself as a unique, unsolvable puzzle in the ring. "As long as people are talking about this fight, I get paid." This line reflects his astute understanding of the business of boxing. He knows that the hype and conversations surrounding the event ultimately benefit him financially and otherwise. The blunt humor of "get laid after being paid" adds to his signature swagger. Fury's acknowledgement of boxing's unpredictability reflects a key aspect of his style: the ability to embrace and thrive in chaos. While many fighters rely heavily on strict game plans, Fury seems to revel in the uncertainty of the ring, turning it into an advantage. His comment about not knowing how a fight will unfold until it happens hints at his trust and adaptability. This mindset is a cornerstone of his approach, allowing him to handle diverse opponents with confidence and creativity. Beyond the physical and mental aspects of the fight, Fury's comments highlight his awareness of the entertainment and financial dimensions of the sport. His candid remark about the media buzz surrounding the event being good for his pocketbook showcases his savvy as a promoter. For Fury, the build-up to a fight is as crucial as the contest itself, and his flamboyant persona ensures maximum attention, ticket sales, and pay-per-view buys.
His head moves, but I'll just cripple you to the body now. So it's about
Same. Whatever's going to happen, it's going to happen. I can't, guys, right, here's the thing, right? I know I'm brilliant, I know I'm amazing, I know everything else, but I'm not a magician. I'm not Houdini. I can't tell you what's going to happen in the fight till I'm in there. And on May the 18th, you're going to find out what's going to happen. It's not that long away, 5-6 weeks away, and it'll happen. Whatever happens will happen. But as for me having this intuition and how what's going to happen in the fight.
Tyson Fury's comments about his upcoming fight showcase his unique mix of confidence, realism, and wit. He approaches boxing with a philosophical mindset, knowing that no amount of preparation can fully dictate what happens in the ring, he said, highlighting the unpredictable nature of boxing. Fury suggests that while he prepares thoroughly, the real test lies in how he reacts during the fight, trusting his instincts to lead him. He also touched on his inability to predict the outcome ahead of time. This reflects his belief that adaptability is what separates great fighters from the rest. In his trademark style, Fury dismissed the idea that Wladimir Klitschko's advice to Oleksandr Usyk could help defeat him. Finally, Fury showcased his business acumen, noting that all the buzz around the fight works in his favor. True to form, he added humor, showing he relishes both the fight and the attention. Fury's dismissive attitude toward advice being passed to Usyk, particularly from former opponents like Wladimir Klitschko, underscores his belief in his own uniqueness. By likening the situation to taking advice from someone outside their depth, Fury implies that no past opponent can truly decipher his style. This sentiment reflects his self-perception as a fighter who breaks molds, blending size, agility, and unorthodox tactics in ways that traditional approaches can't counter. His ability to stay unpredictable, switching stances, varying rhythm, and leveraging his mental edge makes him a challenge no blueprint can adequately address.
I'm just going to have to wait and see 5 weeks.
Tyson, you up?
It's like, I said this before, yeah? Klitschko giving advice to Usyk and how to beat me is like me being a broke-ass bitch and trying to advise a billionaire how to invest his money. It ain't gonna work. That's facts. But anyway, if everyone's got their entitled to their own opinions, I believe, in this world, yeah? And everyone's got their own different opinions in the world. So as long as people are talking about this fight, whether advising them, whether they think who's going to win, whatever, knockout points, shit fight, good fight, brilliant fight, undisputed, whatever it might be that's going round, well, that's good for me, because every person that thinks or talks about it, I get paid. And that means I can go home and get laid after I've been paid.
Tyson Fury's remarks offer insight into his perspective on legacy, opportunity, and the shifting landscape of global boxing with the upcoming fight against Oleksandr Usyk hosted in Saudi Arabia. Fury highlighted his role in the sport's evolution and the cultural significance of being part of such groundbreaking events. He acknowledges the monumental nature of these developments, saying this is not really about me or Oleksandr Usyk, it's about boxing and what Saudi Arabia is doing in sports, changing the game. Fury's statement reflects his understanding of the bigger picture boxing's transformation into a truly global phenomenon. Saudi Arabia's investment in sports, particularly its focus on boxing, is creating a stage for events of historic scale. Fury embraces his place in this vision, aligning himself with the country's ambition to elevate the sport as part of its broader Vision 2030 initiative. He sees himself not just as a participant, but as a pioneer who opened doors for others to compete on such a massive international stage. His sense of pride is palpable as he recognizes his contributions to making fights of this magnitude possible. Beyond the spectacle, Fury ties this moment to his enduring legacy in boxing. His mention of never having lost his titles in the ring is a subtle, confident reminder of his claim to greatness. When Fury defeated Wladimir Klitschko in 2015, he unified the heavyweight division's major belts, and despite subsequent absences from the sport, he considers himself the rightful undisputed champion. His mindset demonstrates his belief in the purity of competition. That title should only change hands through defeat, not relinquishment. Fury's involvement in Saudi Arabia's vision adds another dimension to his legacy, one that intertwines his career with boxing's global growth. While he relishes the individual glory of his achievements, he also sees himself as part of a larger narrative, one that combines sport, culture, and opportunity on an unprecedented scale. His excitement at being part of this transformation isn't just about him, it's about his role in redefining the future of boxing.
How great he was,
Yeah.
and as well in heavyweight.
Yes.
And he really showed that size, for him. Doesn't matter if you have right technique for that size. So we're gonna see how that's gonna be implemented, and I look forward to our first unified heavyweight champion, Ukrainian heavyweight champion of the world on Saturday night.
If Oleksandr wins, with everything that's going happening in Ukraine right now for the past few years, what would it mean to the Ukrainian people to see somebody like him become undisputed? Would that give them hope? I know it doesn't change everything, but to see one of their countrymen doing something like that.
Inside of Ukraine, we have obviously different concerns.
Tyson Fury's comments also reveal his deep understanding of the symbolism surrounding his fight with Oleksandr Usyk. By framing the event as part of Saudi Arabia's push to revolutionize global sports, Fury underscores how boxing has become more than just a competition, it's now a platform for cultural and economic progress. Fury is not just fighting for belts, he's representing the expanding horizons of boxing. In his view, these monumental events bring new opportunities for fighters and audiences alike, redefining how and where the sport is celebrated. Fury also hints at the personal pride he takes in being a trailblazer. He recognizes that his fights in Saudi Arabia have helped set the stage for other marquee events to follow. This reflects a broader influence, one that goes beyond his individual achievements. His career isn't just about victories in the ring, it's about his impact on boxing's growth and the business side of the sport. Fury thrives on being part of history and isn't shy about staking his claim as a central figure in this transformation. Additionally, his comments carry a subtle nod to his confidence heading into the fight by situating himself in a broader narrative of legacy and progress. Fury indirectly frames his dominance as inevitable, his place in history already assured.
Concerns, and priorities.
Yes.
Because we're getting bombarded every day and every night with Russian rockets and kamikaze drones. But this fight is gonna give us 12 rounds of fresh air, so to speak, for our on the mental side speaking, so that we can be distracted from the war and to get excited about this match. And that's definitely going to play an important role for these 12 rounds. At least some catch of fresh breath.
In your
Fresh
opinion,
breath of this match.
100%. Just going back to the fight a little bit. In your opinion, whoever wins this, like Tyson Fury wins this, for example, would he still have to fight Anthony Joshua to be classed as the best of his era, or does this solidify him as the best of his era?
The idea of Wladimir Klitschko stepping out of retirement to challenge Tyson Fury is electrifying, a story ripped straight from the pages of a Hollywood script. It's the kind of narrative that boxing thrives on: underdogs, comebacks, and a clash of titans with history and personal stakes intertwined. While it might seem unlikely on paper, the sheer spectacle of such an event would undoubtedly captivate the boxing world and beyond. Wladimir Klitschko's career is already cemented in the annals of boxing history, with an astonishing 64 wins, 53 by knockout, and 2 reigns as heavyweight champion. His dominance spanned over a decade. But his 2015 loss to Tyson Fury that ended his long-standing reign was a defining moment. Fury outboxed and outmaneuvered him in a fight that many saw as the symbolic passing of the torch to a new era. For Klitschko, who prides himself on discipline and control, that loss may feel like an unresolved chapter. It's not hard to imagine him watching Fury's continued rise, his dominance against Deontay Wilder, his brash persona, and his looming status as one of the greatest heavyweights of the modern era, and feeling the itch to set the record straight. A fight against Fury would be more than just a return, it would be an attempt to reclaim honor and prove that his loss was an aberration, not a definitive statement. What makes this prospect even remotely plausible is Klitschko's exceptional physical condition. Unlike many retired athletes, he has maintained an almost superhuman level of fitness, often sharing glimpses of his workouts on social media. At 48, he may be older, but his body and mind are as disciplined as ever. In an era where fighters like Bernard Hopkins and George Foreman have achieved remarkable success well past their prime years, Klitschko returning isn't entirely out of the question.
He wants to come back for one man and one man only, and that's Tyson Fury. And I'm all for it. Guys, I'm all for this Rocky story. I don't know why, but I just love the idea of it. Like, I love it. I don't know. Look, it goes against everything I preach. Like, everything. Like, when you're retired, stay retired. You're too old. The boxing's a young man's game. But there is something very wild and I think crazy about Wladimir Klitschko, who, by the way, is in incredible shape. I will say this. He's not like he's a guy that's been drinking beer and eating fish and chips for the last 8 years. He's still in fantastic shape.
However, boxing is a cruel sport, and Father Time is undefeated. The heavyweight division is unforgiving. Tyson Fury, 14 years Klitschko's junior, is not just a physical anomaly, but a fighter at the peak of his powers. A comeback would require Klitschko to not only return to championship form but also overcome the stylistic challenge that Fury poses a tall order even for a fighter of his caliber. What makes this idea so thrilling is the theater of it all. Picture Klitschko walking to the ring with his iconic Can't Stop walkout music, flanked by his brother Vitaly, a legend in his own right, the crowd knowing the stakes and the history would be electric. This isn't just a fight, it's a moment, a story of redemption, courage, and legacy. Klitschko embodies the disciplined, no-nonsense professionalism of old-school boxing, while Fury represents the flamboyant, unpredictable modern era. Their clash would symbolize more than just two fighters squaring off, it would be a battle of philosophies. Despite the allure, the question remains whether Klitschko could genuinely compete with Fury at this stage of his life. Real life rarely mirrors Hollywood. Klitschko would be stepping into the ring against one of the most elusive, unpredictable, and skilled heavyweights in history. Fury has only improved since their first fight, becoming more confident, aggressive, and versatile. But boxing, as Klitschko himself knows, is as much about the mind as it is about the body. The will to compete, the belief that victory is possible, and the determination to defy the odds have carried many fighters to glory. For Klitschko, this could be his chance to rewrite history and deliver one of the sport's greatest stories. Whether or not it happens, the mere thought of Klitschko vs. Fury is enough to set the imagination alight. It's wild, crazy, and completely irrational. But that's exactly what makes it so irresistible. Wladimir Klitschko's breakdown of a potential Oleksandr Usyk vs. Tyson Fury rematch captures the clash of contrasting styles, mentalities, and stakes that define modern heavyweight boxing. Klitschko's admiration for Usyk's skill and resilience, combined with his acknowledgement of Fury's size and adaptability, highlights the razor-thin margins between these two greats. For Klitschko, this fight isn't just about belts, it's about legacy, history, and the enduring spirit of competition. His perspective adds depth to the narrative surrounding the rematch, inviting us to consider the unpredictable beauty of boxing. Who do you think will etch their name into history in this ultimate showdown?
His walkout music, which was fantastic, and his brother flanking him, shoulder pads on, walking to the ring to fight Tyson Fury. Fucking take my money. Take my money. Obviously, this is providing Tyson Fury beats Oleksandr Usyk, right? Just the idea of it, like the idea of that Rocky, like, you know, the Rocky Balboa films where he fucking hasn't done anything for 10 years and then fights Antonio Tarver or whatever. I just find it crazy. I find it crazy. And this is legit. This isn't me just making up a fucking video title for you guys to watch and click. No, this is legit. This is what Turkey said to me and Ari Holwani.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned until next time.